Topics and realities. Topics and realities. A 2 hours debate program on Royal FM.
Royal FM.
That is out to drill and brainstorm on issues affecting our society with the aim of bringing change. Topics and realities.
Every Saturday from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m.
on Royal FM.
Topics and realities. A weekly program brought to you by the English desk of Royal FM.
Royal FM.
Topics and realities.
Topics and realities.
Topics and realities.
The gateway to change.
Good afternoon, good people. Welcome to another edition of your program Topics and Realities, coming to you over Royal 88.4. In today's edition of the program, we shall dwell into the women's world ahead of the International Women's Day. We shall be looking at the plight of women in Cameroon with the fundamental question: what is the place of a woman in our political landscape in Cameroon? As our main topic for today, we shall focus on the new wave of the coronavirus in Cameroon. Why are Cameroonians resilient to barrier measures? Topics and Realities is a talk show in which you can call and contribute your own quarter to build this nation called Cameroon. Topics and Realities is a 2 hours program in which we capture the topic, we treat it, and we make it a reality. The team keeping you company this afternoon, we have Carol Production, who is our copyright clerk. Solomon Asana is our sound engineer plus our video editor on our Facebook page, Royal FM Cameroon. Topics and Realities is a production of Royal FM with editorial coaching coming from Jean-Pascal Nchala. Coordination is done by our own station manager Bertrand Ouna. General supervision is ensured by Reverend Pastor Emmanuel Nobisai. Call me the moderator. I am the son of Danki. My name is ABEL Bela Samari. I will be right back.
Qui sont témoins à voyager, oh. La femme est forte, elle peut mettre colis dans sa chaîne. Des menteurs qui disent, sont témoins à voyager, oh. La femme est forte, elle peut mettre colis dans sa chaîne.
Hey Coco, tu es trop forte. Toujours dans les mensonges. Quand je dis un, tu dis deux. Toujours en train de discuter. Tu sais bien courir. Mais tu sais pas te cacher. À cause de Dieu, faut changer un jour.
Les menteurs qui disent, sont témoins à voyager, oh. La femme est forte, elle peut mettre colis dans sa chaîne. Les menteurs qui disent, sont témoins à voyager, oh. La femme est forte, elle peut mettre colis dans sa chaîne.
Caché de l'autre côté, je t'ai vu prendre le taxi. 2 minutes après, quand je t'ai appelé, tu m'as dit que tu étais couché à la maison. Si je comprends bien, comme là tu me dis, dans ton taxi là, tu as trouvé ma télé. Et chouchou, mensonge va te tuer.
Les menteurs qui disent, sont témoins à voyager, oh. La femme est forte, elle peut mettre colis dans sa chaîne. Les menteurs qui disent, sont témoins à voyager, oh. La femme est forte, elle peut mettre colis dans sa chaîne.
C'est mon ami Constant de Malien qui avait raison. Comportement de femmes, c'est comme le dollar. Souvent c'est en haut, souvent c'est en bas. Top, top à toi là. Constant, quoi s'il plaît.
C'est moi à voyager, oh. La femme est quand elle peut mettre colis dans sa chaîne. C'est mon frère qui dit, sentez-moi à voyager, oh. La femme est quand elle peut mettre colis dans sa chaîne.
Thank you very much, Solomon Sana. The author of that music is Magic System. They are talking. They say that a woman is very strong, la femme est forte. And it is obvious. We can't doubt, we can't say anything. Umi Ibechan.
Yes,
La femme est forte.
La femme est très très forte. I think women are actually strong. Before I begin, I thought I was censored on this media. So my coming here, in fact, I'm really very happy to see that.
Who censor you?
I don't know. I have not been invited for quite some time. So I thought I was censored.
My brother is claiming something. You are always present. We are together.
In fact, I would like first to extend my regards to those who are listening to us, because without them, we will not be here.
Especially Madame Wumeye.
Yeah, Madame Wumeye, my siblings that are listening to me. I'm very grateful to be here. And I'll also extend my regards to the technician and to he who created this environment, the founder. Yeah. It's a really tremendous job he's doing. So I'll extend my regards to my co-panelists, and for now they are all women. And the prevailing situation, we are almost some few days to the Women's Day, so I will just extend a happy Women's Day by anticipation to my dear co-panelists. So
they are women. And it is the Women Week, the Women Month. The other politicians will be joining you. You are a member of the Social Democratic Front, the SDF party.
Yeah.
And the party is in a newsstand this week.
Yeah. The party, there's much people are saying a lot concerning the party. In fact, Abel, I think that Cameroonians are just sometimes too emotional with the way they look at things. You see, a group of American congressmen sat down and wrote a certain letter to the executive of America. They wrote
to their president.
Yes, to their president. So, and
Joe Biden.
And our parliamentarians here, a good number of them, they were not up to 100.
Yeah.
They sat to and they wrote a letter.
The parliamentarians in the SDF party?
No, both from the ruling party and the opposition. Let's put it that way. Yeah. So it's like somebody actually ratified the letter they sent back. They were not writing letters to the Cameroonians. They were not actually writing letters. They were not writing neither for the Cameroonians nor for the Americans.
Yeah, what was
but
the
they were writing to those who talked about Cameroon in their letter. That is the American congressmen. And summarily, they were like saying that the congressmen have no right to talk about Cameroon the way they did. That is painting Cameroon like a country where.
But are you sure in that statement that they have no right?
And yeah, for sure. They were not elected by Cameroonians. Those parliamentarians in the U.S. They were elected by the U.S. citizens, and their work is to work for. Their duty is to work for the U.S. citizens. So it is but normal.
But the world is becoming a global village.
Yeah, for sure. But
the U.S. is like the police of the world.
Yeah, but that is what we are decrying. That is what we don't want. That they should be. We should come. We should go back to.
When we rush to them,
2001 when
we rush to them for finance,
when Bush in 2001 Bush stood up and launched a war in Afghanistan. Later on in Baghdad, in Iraq, without a prime notice of the UN. You see, so we should try in such a way to make to tear those big countries in quotes, that though we are small, but we have our dignity.
But do Cameroon have the muscle to strength with the United States of America?
We are just like saying things the way they are. For instance, you know, people are making a lot of big show over the issue because Joshua O.C. actually signed, and not only because he signed, people are making a lot of noise because somebody who is of my party came out criticizing the act of.
That is where I was coming to. Before Joshua was signed, did he consult the people of your party that this is because sometimes you cannot take a personal initiative?
No,
is that the position of your party regarding that?
Not all the SDF people signed. You know that. Not all the CPTM guys signed. They were just about less than 50 people.
But the position of Joshua O.C., is it in accordance with the manifesto and the text of your party?
No.
That is why you are here this afternoon to clear us on that.
He didn't breach any element of our manifesto or our constitution. There's nothing he actually breached. What I'm trying to say is that I said there are people who sat in their own country. Let me just ask you a question. Has Nigerian parliament ever said anything concerning our country? Almost no. They actually, you can never see them doing that. But they are a democratic country. Have you ever heard the Ghanaian parliament sitting and saying that? But you see, they are on the ladder and they're looking at us like, you know, like good for nothing people. Yes.
The Anglophone crisis has been lingering for a very long time.
Very long time, for sure.
And a lot of people expect that Anglophones who feel the pinch should be able to advocate for dialogue and the return of peace.
For sure.
And for a very long time, the National Assembly has not come out strong to present the cry of the people.
For sure.
And they surprisingly, when somebody wants to hit hard, especially with the return of immigrants, which they think that may be very, very destructive to the already fragile situation.
Okay.
Your party came out through its first vice president.
Not my party came out.
Joshua
a parliamentarian, yeah, he's a parliamentarian.
He's the first vice president.
Yes, but he didn't sign that as the first vice president of the SDF. He signed that as a parliamentarian because John Fundi couldn't have signed it because he is not a parliamentarian. Do you understand that? So what I'm saying is that, and in anything you ratify,
but don't you think that
there might be 30 dispositions, right? 2 might not be. Don't
you think that if all of us are in parliament under a particular political platform, ladies, I will come to you. Let me. I know it is very pertinent, and I know that our listeners will surely want to ask you 1 or 2 questions because this is a burning issue. Don't you think that when we are into parliament on a particular platform, we need to be like one person? And if we want to take a decision, the decision should be unanimous for all of us. But when one person step out, is that not the reason why somebody like Honorable Nietzsche see it like a betrayer?
Okay, good. Abel, that letter was not signed by the National Assembly of Cameroon. No. A group of parliamentarians met.
Under which capacity?
They did that as parliamentarians, as MP. Like those who sign in America, they did not sign as
congressmen.
No. They didn't sign that as they didn't sign in the name of the Congress House. They didn't sign that in the name of the Congress as a whole. But a group of people, because that's why I said a group of congressmen sat and they ratified something concerning Cameroon. So a group of Cameroonian parliamentarians met and they too signed something concerning America. In fact, just to tell them that they should not take advantage of what is happening in our country to say whatever thing they want to say. For instance, we said to them, in fact, the parliamentarians said to them that there are issues, there are people those who are fueling the crisis in the north and the southwest, right? Those who are fueling it, they're in your countries, they're in Norway, they're in America, they're everywhere. So you cannot be giving us. You cannot be giving us
who are fueling the crisis.
No, what we are saying is that the guys are there.
Are there no warmongers back in the country? Are there no warmongers back in the country that are also fueling that crisis?
There are. If there is somebody, if there's a particular group of people you want to really criticize for not doing anything for the Anglophone crisis, it will not be the SDF. We saw from the beginning what the SDF did. That's even going down to the field to discuss, to educate, to emancipate the population. And we saw what they did in the National Assembly. If Ninchu, because of his political gains, or he is, I don't know what are his motivation. Because I believe
Ninchu is having a political gain, which is other than that of the SDF.
The truth is that
is there any problem between Ninchu and Joshua also.
No, they are good friends.
In terms of who becomes the next chairman of the SDF party.
You know, our party, everything is clear. Nobody can be denied the way to become the chairman, right? Nobody is denied the way. People like Njamin, they have come and they thought that it was something. They came and they actually went contested with the head of His Excellency John Fundi, and they lost. They lost, and he accepted the defeat. So many of them, you will see, nobody can come and say, I went for the elections and the elections were rigged. No, in the SDF, everything is clear. So Ninche and it is clear, none of them have actually come out and say, okay, I want to be the next chairman. But everything is set. Those of us who are militants and observers, we all know that the game is between Ninche and Joshua. If not, I don't see why, because a parliamentarian wrote something concerning another parliament, and you stand and you say things that are really derogating towards that member, that MP. Because if I were in his shoes, I mean in the shoes of Ninchu, right? Even if I wasn't in accordance with what was signed, you see, because my comrade is involved, I'll keep a low profile. I'll keep that. But because there is already this infighting of who succeeds the chairman, but you know the chairman is a very big man. He sits there, he looks at them, he smiles.
So you already have his candidate?
Not at all.
But don't you think that this bohaha within the SDF party will greatly affect the already deteriorating image of the party?
No, it shows actually the dynamism of the party. It shows that you can be in the party. That
the party is no man land. Anybody can take a decision at any time.
No. Nobody has taken any decision. The truth is that people have their different orientation, their different way of looking at things, but they are still within the SDF manifesto.
After the next meeting of next Saturday, which all of us we are going to be there, I strongly believe that we are going to come with a lot of points to educate the Cameroonian people, because I'm not sure if the election will be this next meeting. Maybe
not at all. And
when the convention will come out.
My brother, we are only praying that the SDF, the chairman, because he is our grandfather, he should seat those two giants, because we see them visibly, right? Yeah. They are always together. You have been there, you have been seeing them. You see, they are always very jovial when they are talking. But as soon as they leave that premises, it becomes something else. We ask ourselves, what is really happening?
That is the question I want to ask you. That is, at this point in time, when Nijon is about to go for retirement, it seems as if within the SDF party there are people who have personal interest rather than the party's interest as a whole.
It is not an issue linked to the SDF. Cameroonians are like that. And let me tell you, I am one of those who have been following John Fundi, keenly. And there was a time he said this clearly. If he's listening to me, he will know that he has a son who is that powerful to keep what he says. Yeah. He said surely he's listening. He said once in one of our meetings that when the essay was created, it was so powerful and so and his brother late Asaga told him that Fundi, you know that this thing we have created that when you come to a point that we have to give people want to become mayor, parliamentarians, you see that will be infighting, and that's what we're going to dwindle, and that's what we're seeing. Some people come to the party and their problem is that they want to become a parliamentarian, and when it is impossible for them to become parliamentarian, maybe the following a mandate, it becomes a whole problem. They want to destroy it. He said it that there are some people who are here, if they don't have it in their mind and their mindset, if they don't win, then they destroy. And we have so many cases of people. I cannot be calling them. There's somebody in Bafusam Numba. We have Akamwam, you know him, you see. So that people that when they are disgruntled, they want to destroy something that people died, something that when they were creating, only John Fundi and Asaga stood to launch a party. When people ran into the bushes, professors of the university, they were in the bush hiding. Some were hiding under their mattresses, you see. But John Fundi stood tall in Bamenda and launched the party with his cousin, Professor Siga Saga.
Thank you for giving us an enlightenment on what is happening within the SDF party.
Thank you very much.
And that was not what we were supposed to discuss, but it is good that in Topics and Realities we explain what is happening to our listeners. We shall be talking about them. The next meeting is next Saturday, and if there's any development concerning the SDF, we are going to be discussing. Good afternoon to you, Makebe Jetruth.
Good afternoon.
You were just looking how the politician was defending his party.
Yeah,
and you were wondering.
Yeah, he seems to be. Listening to him, you know that his heart is inside the party, and I'm like, wow.
Inside the party.
Yeah, like he
decides to hang on one particular angle.
Yeah.
Defend Joshua Osi at all costs. That was his. Do you see that aspect in him?
Yeah, I saw that, and then he said something like, if you don't agree with someone because the person is part of your household, you should shut up.
Yeah. You should chill.
You should chill.
And maybe discuss on a one-to-one, not to go out.
Yeah.
Do we have those type of situation in business journalism? Because you are a journalist,
yes,
with a specialty of business.
Yeah, I'm trying to build a career in business journalism.
Yeah. Do we have people who will come in that domain and they will prefer to shut down everything just for their personal interest?
Yes, it's true. There's selfish people everywhere. Everywhere you go, you find selfish people. There are people who want to, let's say, let me use a business or an enterprise, for example. A person will come into an enterprise not for the benefit of the enterprise. Let's say an employee. Yeah. The employee wants money. The employee wants to be paid at the end of the month. Yeah. So that's what the employee's focus is on. Yeah. If you don't pay that employee, the employee might not come to work the next day. Yeah. But maybe that employee coming to work the next day is what will help the company maybe to grow, exactly. But when the employee does not come because maybe there was a delay in their salary or maybe there's a hold up, something, it brings down the company. That's selfishness.
And with you this afternoon, we are going to be talking about women in business. You are going to tell us, because when we see women, their highest rank in the business fee is buy and sell them.
No, please. No, please.
Okay.
No, please. There's so many women in Cameroon who are into business, and I'm going to talk of rude.
Who have lucrative business that employs around 1,000 people, men. Like they can rub shoulder with some of the top men that we have in our economy.
Exactly.
You shall be giving us that, and maybe encourage other women how to engage in this. We are talking about women, and from another woman, we'll move to another. She too is also an advocate in this women affair, women business. They have decided that the women, the Cameroon woman is evolving. We have the colonial period, we have the post-colonial period, we have the post-democratic period, that is the 1990 up to 2000, and we have the Cameroonian woman of the 2000 up to today with a lot of empowerment. She's Mavis Mufa. I hope I got the name. Okay. And she's a special teacher. She managed an NGO. May you tell us more? You have a lot of cap. Maybe you'll be able to introduce yourself to us. Tell us the different caps that you have. If you're a member of a political party, don't also hide to tell us. Or maybe you have plans to become a parliamentarian or mayor somewhere. Tell us now.
It's possible. Good afternoon to everyone, and you're welcome to this program, Topics on Reality. I am Mofa Melvis Bokoe, Epous Bokoe. The founder of Positive and Healthy Aging Association Cameroon, an association that has to do with the care of elderly, promoting the well-being of the elderly, and bringing the youth together in order to enhance intergenerational exchange with the youths. Equally a teacher. I teach nurses who would like to specialize in geriatrics. Yes, in geriatrics, elderly care.
Okay, elderly care.
Elderly care, yes. And I am equally a nurse in a clinic. So,
okay. If you put you on a simple terms, you are a nurse trainer. You train nurses.
I mean, yeah, somehow.
A nurse trainer.
Yes.
And then with the speciality of old people.
Yes.
Why that old people?
Old people. Because they are special, and because with the growing trends and all the changing, all what is changing, everybody is busy. So we tend to realize that most of our elderly parents are neglected. So we want something that is going to be brought to them, that we are going to reach out to them, so that they're not going to be neglected, they're not going to be left alone. It will not be nice to see an elderly die because someone was in Yaoundé and he was back in the village all alone. So we want that proximity of care to the elderly.
The program is Topics and Realities. If you are just it's an interactive program, you can call, ask your question, and we are going to give you the best possible solution. The access code this afternoon, we have 655-543457, 655-543457, or you take us to 671-157321, 671-157321. We are going to move over to meet Susan Nayonge, who is here with a press review for this week. Good afternoon to you, Susan.
Good afternoon, Abel. Good afternoon to all Royal FM listeners and Facebook page followers. Welcome to today's edition of the press review. Here is what the papers had to say. On Monday, the Guardian Post had as main headline, Riots in Bamenda, Boya, DDR centers, shame onto Anglophone CPDM barons instigating ex-Amba fighters. Another story featured, Armed conflicts in Northwest-Southwest, Human Rights Watch releases damaging report on military. The Post on its part had as main headline, Government requests France CFA 88.8 billion loan to complete 33 billion project. Eco Outlook had a story, per kilogram cocoa farm grade prices improve. Visitations in contract awards procedures, project owners issued yellow card is a story which featured on Cameroon Insider. The Horizon meanwhile had as main headline, Problem solving, Yuba goes for artificial intelligence. Still on this paper, a story titled, Honorable Osi justifies why he signed petition challenging US Congress. The Guardian Post had another angle, Niger begins campaign to succeed Frunzi with missive to Osi. In sports, the Star titled Mount Cameroon Race of Hope 2021, Ali and Kitang win France CFA 10 million each amidst jubilant crowd. On Tuesday, the Guardian Post had as main headline, As violence persists in Noa, former DO slaughtered, hundreds flee to Nigeria. Another story featured, CPDM mayor arrested over alleged embezzlement. On this same paper, a story featured, Olembe Sports Complex controversy, CPDM Central Committee member pushes for parliamentary equity. Meanwhile, Cameroon Tribune headlined, COVID-19 maximum alert. Still on this paper, a story featured, e-commerce, new business openings. Emergence Bilingual Daily had another story in economy, Cameroon World Bank cooperation, government refines strategies of eligibility for prevention, resilience, allocation, amid others. On Wednesday, the Guardian Post had as main headline, Noa killings, government's indifference that amplifies notion some citizens are more Cameroonians than others. Another story titled, Boya, teacher arrested for allegedly raping, impregnating Anglophone crisis teenage IDP. Still on this paper was a story, military dismisses damaging Human Rights Watch rape report. The Sun newspaper on its part had as main story, CDC fighting wars on multiple fronts. Another story titled, Government steps up campaign against COVID-19 upsurge. Ndian in panic as child trafficking suspect snapped was a story on this same paper. On Thursday, Newswatch had a story titled, Separatists tremble as ex-Amba general vows to disarm hundreds of fighters. Still on this paper, a story featured, United Socialist Democratic Party, new Southwest Regional President pledges youth-led leadership. The Post Weekender on its part headlined in health, Cameroon's lone cancer treatment center shuts down. Government declares circa 10,000 COVID-19 cases in 2 months is another story on this paper. On Friday, Cameroon Tribune had a story, Northwest Region, Separatists hideouts destroyed in Bui. The Post Weekender had as main headline, Consequences of Anglophone Crisis, Women Detained for Allegedly Trafficking 26 Children. Still on this paper, a story featured, Military raid leaves 2 dead, many injured in Bamenda. And in sports, Cameroon Tribune headlined, Football Championships, competitions continue this weekend. That brings us to the end of the weekly press review. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned and see you same time next week for another edition.
Thank you very much, Susan Nayonge, for what the papers say. Madam Mavis, you listen to the press review. I don't know what caught your attention.
The Olympic Sports Complex controversies.
You are so worried about it?
Yes.
Are you surprised with all that?
Yes, very, very much. Just like I was saying earlier, it hurts me to know that actually in the medical field there are no subventions for the elderly, but that so much money could be used just for an infrastructure. Whereas this money could be used to do other things, set up a home for the elderly, train up people who are going to take care of the elderly, reduce the medical bills for the elderly so that they can have better access to health facilities. At least that is something. It's true that they're already old, but it would be nice for them to die in decency, to die in peace, to die in respect.
But don't you think that stadium is also a priority for young people to be able to practice football?
Football. Well, but that's just too much. That's just too much. At least it could be divided even into 10, and parts should be used to do other things.
Get truth.
Yes, please. The Mount Cameroon race.
Yeah.
Wow. So, personally, I've always wanted to run, but then
You only want to run?
Yes, I've always wanted to run, but
I've
then
never had the opportunity.
I've never had the opportunity.
If they give you the opportunity, will you do?
I don't think so. Because I can't run for that long. I wouldn't be able to breathe. I think I'll maybe fall or collapse or something. But I really applaud the winner of the race. 10 million is a huge amount of money, and they can invest in something really, really important. They can invest in people, they can invest in themselves, and they can also invest in real estate. I don't know about you, but these three things are important. Investing in, yeah. And also the COVID-19 increase, like, it's really true. People need to take these measures into consideration.
We are going to be talking about the COVID-19.
Yeah.
It's part of it's our main topic for today. I will tell you that to reserve the points.
Yes, I should reserve that. And then there's one more thing.
Yeah.
The teacher who raped the teenage IDP in Boya.
Yeah.
Now that's a painful thing. There are campaigns going on to help young ladies who are victims of rape, and teachers who are supposed to be educating these girls, who are supposed to be helping these girls getting out of these situations, are the ones raping these young people. I think that teachers themselves should be educated on the impact that they are leaving, the scars that they are leaving in these girls' lives.
Okay.
And I also like to talk about I want to talk about was the closing of the cancer treatment center, and they said the lone cancer treatment center which has been closed, and with all what is happening, there has been an increase in the number of cancer patients, especially that of cervical cancer, which was the reason why the Ministry of Public Health had to put in the vaccine HPV for young girls. And now, if you're realizing that there is a surge in the number of people who are having cancer, and then the center is closing, then I don't know what we are doing. We really have to work on that. Probably each region should be able to have a center that is going to accommodate these people, not closing them up.
Mr. Woman, Bertrand, Mr. Wumi.
Yeah, I am essentially political.
Yeah.
In what I do. Yeah, what caught my attention was the media talking about the Joshua Nimche saga.
I wish you have explained.
You see, to me, I don't really like that, because you see two militants of the same party at loggerheads. I don't really like it. You don't bring those things on the
but it's the role of the media to talk about it.
On the public square. I'm saying that
it is the role of the media.
I'm not accusing the media. I'm not accusing the media, but I'm accusing the protagonist, that they were to wash. They are supposed to wash their dirty linen in the house and not out. And the second item that actually caught my attention was, in fact, the Noah issue. It's really the Noah issue, and I believe that the perpetrators of that act should be caught and brought to book. Honestly, because to give some credit to your army, you must always react whenever a devilish act of that magnitude is committed. You should always come and bring things and do things the right way. So they should be investigated, caught and brought to book.
Okay. They should be investigated, caught, and brought to book. I stay with you because we are moving to our teaser question. We want to talk about the 36th edition of the International Women's Day that will be celebrated on Monday. And for the first time, women will not be doing their usual march past, where that is where some of them showcase their fine fabrics with the different fashion that accompany it. But this year, we have the impression that the celebration this year is not as pumped as what we see in the past. Very low women are engaged into these activities. Like a politician, if you want to rate the participation rate of women in your party, what will you say?
Yeah, you know that in Cameroon, it's not like it's not a matter of the SDF. You know, generally, women. I believe you want to ask me why there are not many women as possible in political in my party. You see, they are there. And some are not actually active because, you know, we are in a macho society. You see, macho society where it's dominated by men, and so sometimes they want to, to give any space. By the way, it is said that space is not given. You know, it is conquered. You must conquer your space. So it is an opportunity for me, to call women, to invite them to participate into politics, because politics is I believe that it is it's a venue for you to come and air your mind, to come and bring out your idea on some particular issues. But I will tell you that those who are in the SDF, they are not pushed aside. You know, the chairman actually protects his women. You see, he calls them my girls, so he actually protect them actually in the SDF. So in the SDF we don't have such problems. So anybody, any girl, any woman who wants to get into politics, you get to the SDF, you will not have any problem. You see, before the crisis came, the number of women that were parliament MPs in the SDF were almost the same number with the men. We had the highest number of women within a political party. So I think you should be asking that question to a CPDM a CPDM communicator. So to them, by the way, yesterday, I think it was about yesterday, I was watching a program on CRTV. They were actually crying that from time to time we are seeing that our level in women, they were the one crying that from time to time, I seeing that their level, their participation at the helm of the party is actually dwindling. You see, there are more men coming, and even the number that the women already had as MPs, the number is actually collapsing. Why? Because probably in their party there is some sort of a macho party, and I am still calling on them that in the SDF the door is widely open. And your seats
we
are
have seen strong ladies in the SDF resigning that their political ambitions were being tweeted just because of maybe their position on certain issues, and they had to leave the party.
No, I know of a particular case of Madame Professor Elizabeth Tamanjong. She had a very important post, that of the Secretary General of the party. Can you show me any party here that has a Secretary General as a woman? None, you can never see. But she had that position. But it became a time that, there are certain things that we cannot be seeing here that we know within the party. So she resigned from the post of Secretary General, because she resigned from the post of the Secretary General, but she's still a militant, because she knows that that's where she belongs. That is her house.
Is she a frontline?
She will not be a frontline, because by resigning, it makes you
you cannot qualify like a bona fide militant.
That's why I'm saying that, you see, we came to a point of having a woman as Secretary General of a political party, of a party that was launched, and there was no woman the day they were launching the party. So we decided to make her, the SDF decided to make her the Secretary General. But it's so she was competent, not that she was not competent, but out of political issues, okay, she decided that she's resigning. Right? Nobody actually forced her. Maybe there were some internal struggle, but she didn't resign because she's a woman. That it should be clear. Because if we say if she was a woman, then what are we going to say about Asongani, Professor Asongani?
You are telling us that looking at the number of parliamentarians you have, how many women are there?
For now, I think we have just a lady for now. By the way, we have just about 5 parliamentarians, right? We used to have 22. Right,
but
because
of
the
the
5 situation,
and that 5 you have a lady.
No, because
is that a good percentage?
My brother, because of the prevalent situation, right, in the northwest and the southwest. Because at first we used to have about about 5 women within our ranks, right? There are some that I actually received some time ago in my place about 3 years ago, you see, and they actually and they are no women of that, just simple women teachers, you see, who come into the party and they go very far. So what I'm saying is this, is that women, the party is open for women, and I've never seen a woman who has come to the age and said it is because I am a woman that they have sent me aside or have pushed me. In Bengui, the woman there, the mayor there used to be a woman when it was the SDF council. The MP from Bengui used to be a woman, and it doesn't cause any problem in the SDF that in a particular place the MP is a woman, the mayor is a woman. It doesn't cause any problem in the SDF. But it's like in other parties, it's a whole problem. You see, we are not like saying that no, women should come, we are going to put you up. No, the fear is level. If you can reap as much as you can, then you stand. It's not like, because if we start saying that no, let us parachute them, then we're not going to make.
So with the coming of investiture in your party, that is where the game is being played. Women that do not have a good close relationship with the top party officials, or maybe the chairman, sometimes push out.
No. You see, in the SDF, things are actually clear. My brother, this time I can decide on whatever post I want. I can decide on whatever post I want. I just need to go into the how do you call it? Into our bylaws, open them and say, what do you need to be the chairman? The things that are clear, and it's not somebody who decided. Those things were decided in Congress, in different congresses, right? Mm-hmm. If you can bring out all those things in place, you go in as a chairman. There's no other game. There's nothing there. There's nobody that's going to put you down. And now the chairman says, I am tired. By this year makes him about 70 years. So he's actually tired. He says he's tired. He's going. So it is the fee is level for everyone. If a woman comes there and she's voted, okay, no problem. And I, for one, I will not please. Before you take the microphone, I will like. To me, there's no problem if a woman should even rule this country. To me, that's why I will not stop hailing people like Kawala for their. Kawala had his political training in the SDF. You should know that. You should never forget that. People like Kawala got their political training in the SDF, and I would like to hail somebody too, like Harriet Ekwe. You see, there are strong women who are there, and they are respected for what they have done in the Cameroonian politics. So I don't have any problem with that.
Now, you are a woman, Mavis, and he has painted a good picture. Where you listen to it, you will know that it's an easy ride for a woman to dive in the party. Maybe in the next 1 or 2 years, you have as much from the fee that is leveled. Do you think that when you sit and observe somebody that deals with all category of people, do you think that women have that equal opportunity like the men in Cameroon today?
Yeah, he did paint a very beautiful picture until I was seeing myself already getting into it. I was like, perhaps after the program I'm going to meet him. So yes, women do, and women have that capacity. Women have that endowment. It's possible because women are multi-talented and they can do multitasking. So it's not only for men. It's true that maybe men may have that that know-how, but at least with a woman, at least when you have a woman by your side, you can do more. So women too have that capacity to rule even political parties, and even our country, if they are given the opportunity to, I'm sure it's going to be wonderful.
Okay, women are given the opportunity. Do we have the opportunity?
Well, I wouldn't say up to 50%, because yes, it's possible for some women to get into politics. Those are women who have been empowered. We talk about empowering women every day, but still in our homes, we still push them aside. They're still brushed aside. Shut up. You should be in the kitchen. whether we like it or not, that's our reality. They'll be like, no, you can't do that because you're a woman. I'm not feminist, but then I don't think this is right. That's why even if you tell the girl, you should go into politics, you should go into business, because a woman is an incubator. You can do it and you can do it better. They'll be like, no, I can't do it. I'm not going to do it because that's not the culture I grew up in. So it makes it difficult, even if you tell them over and over. If from their homes they're not told they can, if they're not told they should, they're not going to do it.
Women are not going to do it.
They're not going to do it if they're not empowered from home.
Who should empower the women? They see they have the majority, and still yet they are still begging from the minority.
That's true. It's because of the mentality that we've had for a very long time, right? From a young age, you're told you're a woman, you shouldn't do this, you should wear this, you should go to this particular places, you shouldn't talk like this, we should see you and not hear you. From a young age, you're pushed down, you're already given a lot of restrictions. It is very difficult for you to break through this barrier as a woman, as a young woman in Cameroon especially.
Have you ever faced that difficulties because as a journalist? Have you ever faced that difficulty where you were pushed on the background because you are a woman?
Exactly. I'm told, I'm sorry, you're a girl. What do you know about sports? Like, they just brush me aside. You're a girl, you don't know anything about sports. Girls don't know anything about sports, so just keep aside. Yes, I must admit, that really discouraged me and made me just drop sports like hot cake. But then, what about all the people who
But if you were that serious, that challenges could have been a stepping block for you to prove to the
exactly, because even in business journalism, it's the same thing. What are you doing in business? You should go to fashion, you should go to maybe do a movie or something, maybe talk about the new music gossip or something. What are you doing in business? Now, the sports and the business is the same challenge I'm facing. You understand? So this is where I'm putting a stop. I'm not going to let anyone else tell me I cannot do it, because the more you tell me I won't be able to do it, the more I'm going to fight on, the more I'm going to push on to become the business journalist that I want to be. And I'll encourage every other woman who's listening to me, if they shut you up, come back, clap back, and you can do it, and you're going to do it.
Now, Mavis, I come. Let me ask you this question. We have a tendency where they said women are so dependent. Sometimes they don't even focus. They depend mostly on the men folk to give them everything. No competitiveness in everything they do, and that has actually stringed this woman to be the hand clapper, like what she's saying. Don't you think that with the legal instrument put in place these days, because the law give the woman so many rights? You know, in those days, your husband just need to suspect you that you are going out with a man and sign you a divorce paper. But with the case of a man, you need to catch the man 1, 2, 3 times with a lot of evidence before you do it. But today the law has made it in a way that the man and the woman are 50-50. When you look at the emancipation of the law, what the different laws have been put in place, we think that women are given all the opportunity. But now is the mindset, the dependency ratio, where they want to depend on the man, they are not competitive. Or what account for all this dependency?
Just like how Gertrude said earlier, it's what the women have been taught. And if you're not that pushful woman, you're definitely going to remain in that independence.
The woman is with the man, he pays his bills, everything. He cannot do anything on her own.
And maybe she does not even know that she's not supposed to be dependent, because I'm not a dependent woman. So, and I really feel bad when at one point I feel like I am getting dependent. So perhaps they don't even know that they have reached that level where they are independent. Who has told them? Maybe all these laws that have been said, they are not even aware of them. They are not aware of it. Who has told them? So maybe there is also a level of ignorance amongst the women that is making them not to know that they have that capacity to operate at a level of independency.
Now,
before you ask your question,
yes,
brother, even the law in terms of how do you put it? The question you just asked her concerning unfaithfulness, right? You know, the law still says that if a woman wants to prove her husband's unfaithfulness, she must come out with a proof before 6 p.m. It means that if you see your husband enter into a hotel at 6:30, there's nothing you can prove. That's what the law stipulates. There's nothing you can prove. It means that you can be going there at 6:30, you will never prove that he is the one. Even if you take a photograph, they'll tell you when, at what time did you take this photograph? At what time? If
so
you say, well, there's still problems. Even the law in our country is a law made of macho. By the way, if you look at those who are running our country, right? How many ministers do we have who are ladies? You go to the university, you see the whole crowd. There are more ladies than men. In the university, at first we used to see more men than women, but we see more women than men.
Even the positions the ladies occupy in the ministerial positions, they are specific: women's empowerment, something like social affairs, that type of thing. You will not see a woman in territorial administration.
We have research. We have scientific innovation. We have most communication. Those are strong ministries.
My brother, you see, we are in a country where the head of state, he who is our father, he doesn't actually show us the example. In Cameroon, no matter how, it's of late that we start, it's of some few years, about 3 years ago, that we started having SDOs women. I think about 2 of them, right? Whereas they have been trained in the same school. Sometimes the ladies are really outsmart the guys in school. But when you get out of the school, that is in their mindset that no matter how powerful, no matter how no matter how energetic you are, no matter how dynamic you are, but there is a line that you cannot cross. You see, how many women, they have been training them in NAM all the time, but how many women are governors? There are very few. I mean, just SDO, there are about 2 of them who are SDO now, women. You see, and it's of late. It's about 2 years ago that they started giving another post. SDO is still the number is still very, very meager. So what I'm trying to say is that we are supposed to, we are. I know I'm a teacher too, right? And I speak more to the girls in my class. Each time I'm talking in class, I speak more to the girls than the boys. And sometimes the boys, I say, but why am I speaking more? I said, but we know we're in a mature society. And so with the girls, you must speak more with them. You must encourage them more, so that they should, because you are there, you might have 12, and even if the girl has 14, in life, when you go to your active life, most of the time they always prefer the man than the woman. And it was sometimes even worse in the years of Aijo. There was somebody, Musa Yaya. He was a minister of defense. He vowed that no woman will be a military. It's after him that women start becoming entry to the army.
But he gave a vivid point.
Yeah, he said women be crying that I am pregnant, and they'll say I'm having my children are sick. You see, no. But in America, there have always been women in the army. They've always, and there are women who have very high. How many colonels do we have in our army who are ladies? Very, very few. I know of one who is at the military hospital, medics, but operational, that's in terms of operation, there is no woman who is a colonel. You see, that is a problem. You see, when the girl child is growing up and sees that our society, everything is painted men. You see, she really has the impression that no matter how strong, no matter how powerful she is, she will not be able to succeed. So that's why I speak more to the men. Work hard. You don't have to work harder than the men. You have to show how powerful you are. So you should not always think that you want to get married, you grow up, because that's it. Parents always prepare that, okay, don't sit like that because you get married.
For marriage.
You see, to them they believe on marriage more than any other thing. But I'm saying that I don't have any problem. To me, I believe that our success, our development must pass through the women. By the way, in the prison, there are very few of the women, few women who are always caught into the issue of corruption. There are very few. Even issue of thefts and all the rest, there are always very few. So the men are the one manipulating. Even if you see a woman, you always say it's a man that has come to manipulate. You see. So I don't have any problem seeing a woman. By the way, I'm always having a happy heart when I see a woman at a certain level. Madam, you should know her, Mami Nyanga, which is Madam Poene, the one who has one hotel that I cannot mention in here because you might tax me here for publicity. You see, there are women who are actually out. The other photo, I think it's road photo. Kate photo, yeah. Though the husband went and allowed her something good that she's only preserving, right? Because the husband was actually the billionaire, but he died and But she's actually preserving the issue, because there are some women that might actually make the companies crumble, but she's really doing some jobs, almost so that she's always at the top. She's already, I think she's the richest woman in Cameroon.
Yeah,
I think she's the richest.
And according to Forbes, she's the only richest woman in Cameroon. Like, she was the only one.
The only billionaire.
The only one.
Yeah.
Then why are the others not in the same echelon with her?
Well, they're still coming out.
They are into the business world. What is preventing them?
Well, like he said, this mindset of they're giving women excuses like you're going to talk about your period, you're going to talk about childbirth. I think they can go around.
But it is obvious that a woman should give birth to children.
Exactly, because how will the world increase, right?
Yeah.
But then when they're using the woman who she is as a point, as a blockage to what she can do, it brings down everything. If you say, for example, you have your period or you're pregnant, we can't hire you because soon you go on maternity leave and the company is going to fall. No, if you can go around it, if you can find solutions that can go around this, I think that we women as incubators, we will make it work.
But there's a law that prevents the stigmatization of women who are pregnant from if a company says so, you have the right to sue that company. Why are the women keeping quiet? Because we know in the past it was very difficult for a woman to own land, but today the law makes it possible for women to own it. It was very difficult for women to take bank loans, but today all those opportunities are there. Then the women are still complaining that they are being overshadowed by the men.
Like I said, it's the culture. It's not it's the culture that is the root of this. The culture is what is stopping the women from going forward.
Okay, my brother.
Yes.
We have the law and the spirit of the law. You see that there are issues that's in this position. They will tell you that okay, it is open. A woman can have a piece of land, she can inherit. But what happens? You talk about the culture. What happens if a man dies here? But the guys will say, but these girls, why are you coming? What is your man? What's your problem here? Exactly. And let me tell you, each time a woman has had a problem and she takes the problem to the gendarmerie and the husband comes, do you know how the woman is treated? Even if the man is at its fault, all the gendarmerie are made of in fact everything is men everywhere. The man at the gate is a man. The one with everywhere is men. So if you come, even a child. My brother, there are so many rape cases that have not really have not gone above the gendarmerie, because when it comes to the gendarmerie, they say stop, it ends the cases, those cases there. Why? Because when a man comes, they think rape. They say, "Tuano, you have been."
That's exactly. They'll say like, "What were you wearing?" Like that's even a question to ask.
Say what we say. You are the. In fact, you are the cause. Somebody is crying that I've been hurt in one way or the other, and the gendarmes will tell you that it is your fault, it is you. Because one, they are men. That's why the government has to do in such a way that, you see, include women in decision making. It is very, very important. Include women in decision making. If not, the men will go and will carve a law just to show NGOs, international organizations. No, but here in our country, everything is okay by their law, but the practice.
It's not. And there's also the emotional blackmail.
For sure.
Yeah, especially in families. Imagine your like you spoke of a burial, or you spoke of something that relates to family.
Yep.
A woman comes in, the father or the brother will just tell a story. You know, women are emotional beings, and they can start crying when they feel hurt. And that is the major tools that people use to blackmail women. So many women suffer depression because they are emotionally blackmailed by their family members. And that's a horrible thing.
But when some of these women refuse to communicate, refuse to talk, that this is what we are going in, don't you think that they are accomplices to it? Madam Mavis, you have been blackmailed of something, you know that, okay, if I expose someone or two people will come to my aid, but you decide to stay mute, it means that now in you are also guilty.
Not really. well, there are so many things around this women empowerment, this women issue.
Yeah.
So many things. Well, maybe just like how she was saying, they'll tell you something and you already have, it's like you have a channel that you have to follow. Mm-hmm. And the moment you're leaving that path that has been paved for you to follow. You become like recalcitrant.
Exactly.
So they prefer to remain in that and then just follow the road rather than disobeying my father or disobeying my mother. So it requires a woman who has like a bold woman who has said, all right, now I wouldn't accept all what you're telling me because I know that this is what I'm supposed to do and this is what is right for me. For her to be able to move that path, knowing fully well that even if she's living from the path that has been placed, she's living from the path that has been traced, she's not derailing, but she's doing something right.
Now, I want to find out from you, Gertrude, what are the hindrances, or what are the things, or what are some of the barriers that prevent women from becoming great entrepreneurs in Cameroon? We are into that field. I said earlier that most women, they say, if you go to our market, I take a case study of Amfundi, which is very close to me. 80% of all those who are traders, they are women.
That's true.
Good. We hardly see women. There are very few that are bought share in companies, that own companies, that have all those things. What prevents them?
Well, the first thing is culture, like we earlier mentioned.
So what should we do with the culture? Change it. Bypass it.
Bypass.
How do you bypass it?
I don't know yet because I don't have a formula for it because myself I'm still struggling with it. So I wouldn't say I have a formula, but I think bypass, I wouldn't say eradicate the culture completely because our culture is our identity and I love our culture too. But we can bypass that. For example, if you want to go into business, your family should encourage you because as an entrepreneur, that's where you're gonna get your first capital from. Your family, especially when you're starting. If they don't support you, there's a high possibility that you crash and crumble. If your family can support you, that your family should have that mindset that you don't have limitations as a woman and you can do it. Your family supports you, then you go further. Also, you should educate yourself. It is true that there are many women just at another level. Some, I shouldn't say all, some women at another level of Bayam, Selam, at Mashifundi and other markets. It's because they're not educated enough. Some women,
and when you want to educate them, they rush into marriage and tells you that I already have what I was looking for.
No, cannot be
my aim is to get married and give birth to children. And I assume the role of a housewife. Don't you think that women too are responsible for their plight?
To this extent, yes, they are responsible. That's why I'll call this group of women lazy women. Because even when you're married, is your husband going to do everything for you? Is he going to pay the house rent by himself, the light bill, the water bill, take care of your children, buy clothes for you? No, you should be able to help. A woman was created to be a helper. You shouldn't be a consumer, a liability, and that's it. No, you should be able to help the person you're getting married to. Most of these women who just rush into marriage, most of them suffer depression, and depression is a horrible thing. You can even commit suicide because of it. So if they're educated enough, in order not to
yes.
Well, as I was saying, right? If these women are educated enough to know that they can do it, they can be in business, they can educate, they can go to school. It's not all about marriage. Your life doesn't end when you get married. Then they can improve in business.
Okay.
And when you know your competitors, if you're not educated, you won't be able to know who your competitors are. You won't be able to know what strategies to use. You won't be able to know how to brand yourself or your business. But if you're educated, you can do all of this and even become a CEO of another person's company, of an international company like PepsiCo, for example, right? So as I was saying, after that too, there is the culture, there is education. Some women are being lazy, and that's what hinders them from becoming great women in the society. Also, there is how will I put this?
Why you think?
That's what I think.
I mean to Mavis, we are celebrating the International Women's Day on Monday, and for the past it has been like a forum where women will always go out to eat, drink, and do what we call soulever the kaba, and which was like a normal phenomenon to them. We even spoke to some women this week. They said despite the fact that there will be no matching, but they cannot forego their outing and their drinking habits. If we want to make the Cameroonian woman more productive, more participatory in our decision making, what should we do? When I say we means the men, we mean the society, we mean the government.
Okay. The woman herself has a role to play, because the Women's Day should not just be. It's true, the day is how do I put it? This one day, it's like an event, right? Just to commemorate the woman, but then it should not be as if it's just on this day that we are going to do everything that we want, because the woman is actually celebrated every day. Every day the woman has a role to play. Every day the woman does something. So you should even, it should be a booster for yourself, just the fact that you are a woman. Like you get up in the morning and you say, oh wow, God, I thank you. I am a woman and I am a special being. And then work in collaboration, the men, the civil society, the government, work in collaboration with these women and see how to boost up their potentials. Okay. But I don't know if I'm saying what you're asking me.
Betan.
Yes, talking about the day itself, to me, the day itself is not really that meaningful. The day is not that meaningful. What happens in the 365 days, right? I, for one, as I said, first of all, I have a very magnificent woman that you know. A woman is somebody who actually, I sometimes really ask myself, if I were in her shoes, would I be able to do what she's doing? So as she leaves, goes to work, comes back. When I come back, probably sometimes we come at the same time, and I'm so tired, so weary. I go and lie on the bed, and she still goes to the kitchen and looks for something that. So it is. I don't know. There is something that women have that we, the men, we will never have. So we should actually learn to appreciate. And talking about March the 8th, I believe that women who are doing those things they're doing it out of ignorance. Okay. You see, you don't go out and behave as if I gave the fabric to my own wife, right? But she kept it. She said, oh, it's after the 8th that I will put it on. I will, to her the issue of the 8th is not really. It is how we live
on a daily basis.
On a daily basis, you see, how do you value the woman? Does she value herself on a daily basis? Do you, the man, value yourself? Because we must actually help the women, because we are already in a culture. Because all of us, we come from a culture where a man is seen as a king, everything. So we should, those of us who have actually gone to school, we should really help the women to live from that mindset that we should see ourselves as equal partner. In fact, we are not equal, because they have something that we don't have. Okay. That is the mother of humanity.
Thank you.
Joining us in this studio is Mr. Noah Roger. He's the Assistant Secretary General of the Cameroon Release and Movement. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon, you. Good afternoon to my co-panelists, and sorry to be this late. We are extremely busy those days, and that's why I'm late in your program.
Before we move to the main subject for today, I just want you to tell me the position of women in your party as we celebrate the International Women's Day.
As far as our party is concerned, we don't have a special day for women, because women are equal to men. From there, we celebrate them every day. We give them their right place. Okay. You know that we have a very strong woman wing in the party, and women are in executive position in the party. Yeah. The national vice president is a woman, Mrs. Tirianoa, that I greet. So it's part of our policy to provide a special position to women. The same way we are actually moving with the youth and things like that.
Okay, we are going to take this break. When we come back, we'll move to our main topic. just tuning in, the program is Topics and Realities, coming to you from Royal 88.4 FM. This afternoon, we want to talk about the second wave of the coronavirus that is hitting across the country, Cameroon. And the fundamental problem or the cry of the government is that people should respect barrier measures. But before I ask questions here, you say you want to chip in something.
Yeah, there were two points that were left out on why women don't grow in business. Yeah. Another one was opportunities. They should grab the right they should not just grab opportunities that come, they should grab the right opportunities, and they should not be afraid. They just need to believe that they can do it.
Okay. Mr. Nwawoje, I stay with you. We are talking about the coronavirus in Cameroon. The second wave is ongoing now in the country, and the government is talking about a vaccine. They are talking about people respecting barrier measures. And when I look at your party, the CRM party, it has been a frontliner when it comes to the fight against the coronavirus in Cameroon. When this second wave of coronavirus is hitting around the country, what is the position of your party?
Actually, we know that the CRM was the first party to raise that issue back in March 2020, when the virus was just entering into the country. Mm-hmm. We published a statement wherein we actually denounced some of the measures taken by the government at that time, and all those measures they have lacked to take, like for example protections at the airports, because we still believe until now that if the government took the necessary measures on time, they could have saved Cameroon from that virus. But has that not been the case? Now it's the past. As far as this second wave of the virus is concerned, I think the government seems not to have the right solutions, or those solutions they have come up with themselves are not being applied properly. Mm-hmm. Look at the measures that every one of us should take every day, and like washing hands, like having your face masks. Mm-hmm. You just go to the street there and you're going to see that there are a lot of persons without the face mask, which is a problem. People are not washing hands as required. And I think this week the Prime Minister issued a statement, whereas the Minister of the Administration issued a letter to the governors around the country, asking them to make sure that the measures prescribed by the de facto head of states are actually implemented. And that's a sign of let's say the difficulties that the government actually facing, which we can look at as part of their own failure in applying their own measures, as has always been the case so far.
The government, political parties merging with the government to be able to fight this disease, because it is a national issue. It's not something of one political party.
Exactly. When we talk of a national issue, that means that the government should be able to give here to what others are proposing, but actually they are only throwing a diff here to all what is coming from the CRM. As you know, it's not just when we are not coming of propositions to the government. So it's just like it's their own issue, and we look at it's their own issue because they want it to be that way. We come up with propositions of before, and actually the government have always rejected them. And it should not be that way, because when we're talking of a national issue, that means that everyone should be able to contribute his freedom might in providing the right solution to the problem. They cannot behave as if only them had the right solution to the problem. All of us can contribute something so that we can all together face the situation which is happening in the country. That's the issue here. That's the issue at stake. And as far as concerned, I think even this second wave of coronavirus is a kind of leeway to government officials to embezzle more and more funds. You certainly, as a journalist, you know that there is that issue of imbalances. They say, people are saying that I read even a communique from the Ministry of the Minister of Health, trying to disparage what people are writing here and there. But we look at it as a special opportunity for them to put more money in their pockets.
Now, Bertrand, you have the SDF party, and the coronavirus is hitting the country. What is the necessity of doing?
Okay, by the way, when this issue came up, at the level of our party, it was said that people should carry out humanitarian activities wherever they are. So it was not actually a national issue that was taken at the helm of the party. So parliamentarians, mayors actually did what they could do in their locality, because we believe that in terms of public health, right? In public health, it is a state that takes the right action in public health. So we know that in terms of political party, we are really limited in terms of political party to carry out actions on public health. I mean public health, but it's not a sectorial health issue, it was a public health issue.
But now, you have a shadow cabinet for that.
For sure. That's why I'm telling you that we're called upon, to carry out humanitarian endeavor wherever we are. It was not a matter that the helm of the party should actually take upon itself to carry out strategies on public health. By the way, now the prevailing situation now, you see, we are talking now of the second wave. I personally, I really doubt whether there's a second wave. You see, I really doubt whether there's a second wave, because they have not actually proven to us that there is actually a second wave.
Did you believe that there was first wave?
For sure, the prevailing situations actually in fact, the prevailing situation actually makes us understand that there is a global epidemic, right? It is clear everywhere, we know that. But what I'm trying to say, like my brother from the CRM said, that it could be a strategy to get much more money from the state coffers. Let me just give
what you are trying to tell us, coronavirus does not exist in
Cameroon? No, it do exist. I'm saying that I am saying that there is no. I believe that personally that there is no second wave. The truth is that the government took some measures. And at a certain time, we don't know, Corona never ended, but we saw some sort of laxity in the measures. And when there's laxity in the measure, and people drop down their masks, they don't wash their hands, and people get more infected, and you tell us that this is what second wave? Where has the first wave gone to? You see, so there is no issue of second wave. I am saying that because
the government was just
I believe that they are using the issue of second wave because those are things that have been said in the US, in Britain, because I think it was by either France or Britain that issue of second wave started. They started talking about second wave, but they can actually say it. Why? Because they have a strong medical system that can actually tell us that no, this virus or whatsoever is muting. They can tell us that it's muting. But can we actually say that that's the same case with us? I really doubt it. I really doubt whether we. But the problem is that the head of state or the government took some measures, and at the same time, the measures, in fact, it just kept quiet and start embezzling money. Nobody was saying you, our MP for the Vous was very, very vocal towards the actions or the works of the Minister of Public Health. He showed us all the strategies they are using in order to get money. Now they are coming. They say we should get the same measure, but go out. You see taxi men still carrying two people in front, and I don't know, 3 behind it, bikes. Everybody just doing anything they want, but there's nobody to say, okay, please stop, do this. And the policemen, instead of putting order, they are instead picking those guys, say, okay, 500, they put in their pocket, and you can still go. You see, so. The government is actually bringing us a strategy. They are bringing us certain. They are bringing some high-sounding words because they want to put us in fear because they don't care about us. They don't care much about us. I am saying that they don't care about. They don't care much about us because the truth is this.
The Prime Minister said yesterday that any day.
I followed him. Yeah, I followed him. I followed him squarely, and I'm saying that.
What do you want to say? That those are only words. He wants actions.
For sure. What I'm saying is this: is that. The head of the government spoke in the place of the head of state because we actually wanted that the head of state should actually take the stage, the central stage, to say that. But we have realized that we have realized that he's a ceremonious president. By the way, the Prime Minister spoke yesterday.
To some people.
So today we are saying that, and I will advise my brothers and sisters out there that it's like we don't have a government. It's like we don't have. But so they should actually take care of themselves. That is, try as much as possible as to follow the barrier measures. That is, you put on your mask whenever you're in a taxi. Just imagine, my brother, the other day I was in a taxi. Was it on Thursday? And the guy at at the driving seat. The driver, I was behind, and there was a young guy going to school. He said, Petit, he was coughing, talking to the young man. The young man never had a mask. You see, so I said, what of nonsense is this? You see, and the driver should be the first to protect himself. So even if the government does not want to come out, you know, to bring order in the way people behave or the way people are supposed to behave, because we should also understand that all of us people are very stubborn. You see, Cameroonians are sometimes too a bit stubborn because of, you know, it is once said that a fish get rotten from the head, right? When you see a fish, when the fish start decaying, it's from the head that start decaying. You see, so people who are governing us, they sometimes behave like as if they're in I don't know, you know, in the desert is no man's land. You can carve as much as you can. Nobody will ever come and tell you that this is my place. So they behave as if they're in a no man's land. Their problem is to embezzle as much as possible. And so others, as they are doing, all of us too, we are seeing. Just imagine, my brother, after the Prime Minister's speech, right? What happened? The next lot that came was, and Mr. Leo is going to have a concert, and you see that thing about concert that's going to happen. And how do you call the lady? Annie Answa is going to celebrate her 30 years of musical career in Douala. Should not take place. So those things should not take place because they're already saying that. Okay, can she organize a concert where there are less than 50 people? Can she organize? Then what is she organizing? Mr. Liu is organizing something. I don't know whether he organized yesterday or whatsoever.
But the business journalists will tell you that you are also trying to in-stream.
No. See, in the fight against COVID, right?
Let's be sincere.
There are certain in the fight against COVID, right? There are certain maybe professions that actually, like the people who are in the sport field, people who are in the entertainment career, in the entertainment field. It is so difficult, but we have to bear with it. We don't have to allow people to die because we want to dance or want to sing. It is better to be in your house. It is better to be in your house alive than to be, I don't know, somewhere.
Okay. Maybe you are very close. Or maybe you are into the medical field. Maybe you are in a better place to tell us more about this coronavirus. When we see the myth that some Cameroonians say coronavirus do not exist, some say do exist.
But allow me 1 minute.
Yes,
don't forget. In this type of situation, the best way government can do is to lead by example, and we don't have that example from the government. You see, we never seen the de facto head of state wearing a face mask, whereas people have been seeing their president with face masks. It gives a strong message to the people.
Maybe before you visit him, you are being scrutinized, check whether you have the coronavirus.
It doesn't matter.
That is why.
No, it doesn't matter. It's communication. People have to see him wearing a mask for them to know that this is really important to do it. Look at the Minister of Health. It asks people to implement the protective measures. But he himself does not implement them in private events. You see, there is a video actually that has become very viral in the social media, where he's there celebrating with friends, and they are very close, wearing no mask. What's the message behind all that?
He says
it's just like to say, okay, that coronavirus, we're just talking about it officially, but you don't care, it doesn't matter.
671-157321, 671-157321, 655-543457. What do you think about the coronavirus in Cameroon? Yes, maybe I wanted to find out from you. Some people say the coronavirus does not exist, others say it do exist. We have this total confusion. Tell us, you are into the medical field.
Yes, and it's really true. There is a lot of confusion behind the advent of the coronavirus, especially in Cameroon, especially here. So it's true, we saw cases, people were infected, and then we are now told that there is a second wave. But then what I will say is that you don't know the next person sitting beside you. You don't know who he is. So for your own safety, better take the precautionary measures for your own safety, even if you believe it or not, because the truth is that many of us, if you want to count the number of Cameroonians who believe in this coronavirus, they are not up to 10%, and it's mostly those of the high class even. those of the low class, they just say no, it's just something that was invented. They will tell you that, all right, it's even about like Ebola came, and then just in the twinkle of an eye, Ebola disappeared. So there is nothing to believe. And just like how the other panelist was saying, the people themselves who are putting the measures in place, we are not actually seeing them doing it. So would like them to do it, leading by example.
Okay, let's take this call online. Hello? Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Oh, may we know your name, where you are calling us from?
Yes, I am Mr. Jimmy calling from Mendon.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been following up the program, and I just want to contribute.
Okay, sir, your contribution count.
Yes, you know, we are used to this statement that on high instructions from the highest personality in this country. But to my greatest dismay, we have never seen our head of state putting on a mask. That's my first remark. Then the fact is that when this issue of corona started, our head of state never made any statement like how other head of state made a statement concerning this COVID. Then another issue is that when the measures were put in place by the Prime Minister, after some time they made us to understand that World Health Organization has even congratulated them for doing a better job than even more than other countries. And that even pushed them to even organize the SHAN and also not to even implement the laws which were put in place, because take for example the issue of taxi which was raised, and then finally when the taxi men wanted to strike, they just turned it like that. Finally the issue just died out like that. And many other things, the bars were going on like any other things. In fact, I want to just believe that our government can be considered as a joker. We really need to be prayerful to see how we can have people who can really manage this country as human beings. In fact, all this propaganda that they are doing over the TV and radio is all about propaganda and their personal egoistic attitude. That is what I think about that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Mavis, you had the microphone.
All right.
You can do the same. The number is 655-543457, 655-543457, or you go to 671-157321, 671-157321. We'll take another caller online. Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah. I think, just as Mr. Noah was saying a while ago,
yeah,
the government has really failed in her responsibility of educating the citizens. You know, sometimes when you know your citizens are vulnerable, you put everything together to make sure you protect them. But they've constantly shown and proven to us that they don't have us at heart. All they think of is their personal benefit. Come to think of it, Abel, when I go to market or go to some public areas, you see people are not at all sensitized of this corona issue. They just try to rob you with their bodies. You are struggling to escape them, and no one doesn't even care about the distancing or whatsoever. You come to think or come to believe with me that there is no publicity. Government hasn't even come to your radio station, pay publicities, make you talk about this illness on daily basis, hour upon hour or minute after minute, so as to educate and sensitize the local population. People are still very ignorant about this thing, Abel. Sometimes I want to believe I am the only Cameroonian who is sometimes government should really take its responsibility of making or sensitizing the citizens, of paying publicities. Talk about the illness. Do not just sit on the air and start sending tweet messages over Instagram and Facebook and talking about illnesses and like believing everybody has WhatsApp and whatsoever, or everybody can read internet or whatsoever to see or follow up what the minister is communicating every day. Not everybody has the opportunity of listening to a radio station or listening to any radio news on daily basis. They go out, they struggle to see what they can do to make ends meet, but then it's a pity because the government doesn't really have us at heart. That's what I really believe. And Abel, if I want to say something about the Women's Day, I'll ask you the question, how many times you've been inviting ladies to your program? If you only always wait for the Women's Day to bring ladies to talk on your program, don't you think that if you met the president, you will certainly not do any better?
And you are very right. Thank God that the ladies are here. Maybe they will answer before you see them coming here. It has been more than 2 weeks of negotiation with them. So they will always tell you that I have. It's not easy on them. And when you see somebody like Mavis for coming to this radio, really, I really appreciate it.
All right, just like how I was saying, and like the first caller said, you see, there is people don't believe. People don't believe. A majority of people don't believe that there is corona. And the second caller came again and said it. When you go to the market, people are rubbing shoulders on you. It's not as if they are not unaware. They know that there is coronavirus because they have heard about it. And when in March, when we had when it came and then they announced that we're going, many people were informed, because you would not just get up and then they say, okay, stay at home, and you don't ask why you're staying at home. So a majority of us knew, many people knew about it, even right in the suburbs, people knew about it. But then there is an unbelief of the fact that there is something like coronavirus. Because, all right, some people will say, yes, there is coronavirus. All right. They were talking about the center where people are kept at Olembe, but they never saw people who were hospitalized. But they kept on giving figures, increasing figures, people who are dying. Where were they? Where are these people? So when the whole thing was looking like a fiction, and that is what has made people not to believe, and that's what has made people not to take the barrier measures, because for them it seems as if everything was framed up and everything is fake. But then we'll continue saying, you don't know the person beside you, so just take your barrier measures. Now there is a vaccine that has been brought, and it is already in Cameroon, and it is not obligatory. If it's that, I read the communique, and they said they were going to test all the students in school. All right, they are testing the students in school. That's fine. Those who are positive will stay in school. Those who are negative, those who are positive will go home. Those who are negative will stay in school. After classes are over, where will they go to? They will definitely go back to their houses or go and meet their friends who have been tested positive. They are going to study, and then they are going to probably be infected. Now you come back to school the next day with your paper showing that you have been tested positive, whereas you are with your paper showing that you're tested negative, whereas you are already positive. You're a potential carrier. What dispositions have been taken that to make sure that those who are negative remain negative, and those who are positive are going to be treated? So there is a lot that still has to be done around this coronavirus issue.
I want to ask you the question, Gertrude.
Yes.
Why is that Cameroonians are not respecting the barrier measures? Because that is a song of the government. They say if we respect the barrier measures, we'll reduce the rate of the virus in Cameroon. And a lot of people are saying that the second wave of the coronavirus had to come in Cameroon because of the organization of the African Nation Football Championship, where a lot of people had to come into Cameroon through the airport, and some of them carried this disease, but when they reached at the level of the airport, they had to chip in 1 or 2 francs CFA, and they were being allowed without really taking proper measures. Do you think that Cameroonians should still keep on the sitting on the fence and saying that we don't believe in the coronavirus?
Well, it's true. There's so many Cameroonians who don't believe. I think everyone I met today, does not believe in the coronavirus. But I must say it's true, because even my brother had coronavirus, and it got me really scared. Like, what is it like? I don't know what, because I wasn't with him at the time, so I don't know how he feels.
But he's fine now.
Yes, he's very fine. It was in December. He couldn't celebrate Christmas because of it.
And he has become an advocate.
Yeah.
Preaching the gospel that there is corona.
there is corona. So it's you have to believe it. Even if the government is even if there's propaganda or whatever politics they're trying to mix, you should take care of yourself, because at the end of the day, you're the only one who can protect yourself. You wear your face mask, respect physical distancing, and so on. But even the measures the government put in place, we all knew it was not going to work. There were just 3 people who had coronavirus, and then schools locked down, bars locked down, but markets were open. How would coronavirus not spread? You see, and it also led to...
As a business journalist, you think that if they had to do a total lockdown, are we going to survive?
We will not survive.
Our economy depends on hand to mouth.
Exactly. We will not survive. Just from March, according to the National Bureau of Statistics, about 50% unemployment increased by 50%. We're already suffering from unemployment, and then it's increasing because of coronavirus. Like, think about it. I don't know, we're already underdeveloped. I think if there's another word for underdeveloped, that's where we're going to be.
Mr. Noah Roger, when the first wave of the coronavirus came into Cameroon, we saw the government bringing out traditional practitioners in the medical domain, giving them a lot of promises that this coronavirus, they should help in the fight against it. We saw some of them coming out with drugs that actually cured the coronavirus. We have the case of Cleda, we have the case of Maripe Disamba, but we see the government failing to promote these people in order to produce mass production to be able to help the common man. Today, everything we talk about the coronavirus center around the vaccine. The Prime Minister talking yesterday says that if we take the vaccine, it will help to build the immune system, thereby reducing the coronavirus infection in Cameroon. Don't you think that if these traditional healers were being promoted and the people discover that this medicine is coming from their own backyard, maybe you could have helped most of them to think, to believe that this coronavirus do exist?
I think coronavirus has provided a special opportunity to the government to promote private enterprises and especially pharmaceutical industry in the country. But they have failed to really seize that opportunity, because they are making more money by importing medical equipment and so on from abroad, because they can actually increase prices and then keep the difference for their own pockets, which they cannot do if they actually support the local pharmaceutical industry or the traditional healers you are talking about. We know CREDA has been providing a solution that has helped cure a lot of people. And we can even say that most of those have cured have been so thanks to the solution provided by Dr. CREDA, the Archbishop CREDA. But actually, we saw a lenient support coming from the government. There are even young engineers who came up with very intelligent solutions, very smart solutions to how we can protect ourselves from the spread of coronavirus. And the government was still like, we better import those same equipment from abroad instead of providing funding to those young guys so that they can produce them locally and cheaper. That's the issue here. We have whatever the government wants to do, if they don't see their own interest, they won't do it. They don't work for the interest of the community. They don't work for the interest of for the nation. They work in their own interest. So if they cannot have a cut in the business, there's no way. That's the situation here. And that's why we think that bunch of old people have to retire. They have to go back to their villages and let younger generations manage the affairs of the nation, so that at last we can see people working really for our own country and coming up with the right solutions so that we can keep the youth engaged. We can keep all of us on the right way, working so that the nation can see improvement in terms of living conditions of people.
Yeah.
Because all of that resort to one final thing is the living conditions. The end result of political the government policies
is to better the
lives of people. So if we don't do that, then the government has failed. As when you look at what the government is doing, you can say that looking at the problems and looking at the solution they provided, looking at the result, we can say that they have failed. And they have been failing for more than 30 years now. Why isn't that those people cannot retire and let a new generation come in so that they can come with new solutions? Because when you stay in the same position for so long, your brain can no more come up with the right solution at the right time. Your brain is old.
So that is the problem we are facing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Starting from the helm of the nation.
Now,
if you see what I mean.
Bertrand, I will come to you. You said you are also a history teacher, but when we look at the domain of international relations, it seems as if the government of Cameroon is maybe afraid of Western power, let me put it that way, to sponsor local production, because the money that we want to import the vaccine, be it the Chinese or the Russian vaccine that's in negotiation, can be pumped into scientific research. Because if we have these two cases where they have proved that the traditional drugs can be able to cure the disease, why not help promote local industry? Why not help promote the production of mass so that we can also send to other countries? Is it like somebody somewhere dictates to the country that for you to be able to do this, you must do this?
My brother, I believe.
But the vaccines are free, huh? They have not bought it. They have not paid no dime for that. The vaccines are free.
Some Chinese company actually gave them for free.
But you know that international cooperation is not for free. Let's take this call online. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir.
Oui, allô, bonjour.
Yeah, bonjour, monsieur.
Oui, bonjour, monsieur. Je vous appelle depuis l'Allemagne. Mon nom, c'est Adonis Mino. J'aimerais dire quelque chose. Je suis très intéressé par la pensée universitaire de Royal FM.
Ok.
Oui, simplement, c'est une remarque que je fais généralement. Chaque samedi, quand je regarde, déjà, ce n'est que des suggestions, si vous voulez bien. Je suis très intéressé par tout ce qui se dit et la qualité même des invités. Toutefois, on a l'impression parfois qu'il y en a qui, par leur attitude, c'est un peu dénigrant. Il y en a qui regardent, qui passent leur temps à regarder leur téléphone portable. Il y en a qui tiennent la main sur la tête. Il y en a qui font comme s'ils dormaient, comme si ça déshonorait un peu, ça dégradait un peu la qualité des débats. En plus, on aurait bien aimé, parce que c'est de plus en plus intéressant, que l'espace même pour ce débat soit un peu plus agrandi. On a l'impression que c'est étouffe. Les gens sont serrés autour de la table.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Je pense que le cadre peut être bien.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, you had the microphone.
Okay, yes, I was saying that those who are actually ruling us, my brother, they are not nationalist enough. They are not nationalist enough. They were just put there, placed there by the colonial master to take care of certain things. Because just imagine somebody like Christian to me and Samuel Cleader did a tremendous job in his research, which the government did not sponsor, and came out with something good, and everybody who tried that medication he brought testify that it was a good thing. They were in a situation that, in a desperate situation, but he came out with his drugs or the natural, herbs, and they actually had it well. And yesterday I saw Madame Disamba, that's the daughter of the former promoter of Disamba College. She too has done a tremendous job in that light. And what is clear is that, those who have put the head of state where he is and the government, they will always want them to behave, to dress. You see how they do dress. But if you can try to compare the way they dress, the way our Cameroonian officials dress, and the way the Nigerian officials dress, you actually see the difference. You see, they are doing everything in order to cajole, in order to show respect to their colonial masters. So they are not nationalists enough, because if a situation of this nature, of a corona, like the coronavirus that came, we the Africans, we the Cameroonians, we're supposed to show how powerful we are in order to encourage our
young researchers,
to encourage them, finance their project, whatever thing they want, you give them, so that they should come out with a Cameroonian solution. In fact, that is how countries are being respected. That you bring there is an international issue, but you bring a national solution to that problem. We are waiting that the Chinese let them come and bring, because we saw the Chinese ambassador saying that they are going to give us some
and that is where the problem lies, because once the Chinese, they said that the vaccine is supposed to be for free, the people say, oh, it is the devilish stuff that they want to put in their system. So it creates another confusion, and a lot of people tend to divert their intention from this vaccine. But if we have our own local product, maybe it will help to go a long way.
That is it. Because, for those who, leader himself said it, that this my product, you see, I have sent it to people in Europe. They have sent it to people. There are some Africans who are based in Europe, but they have more faith in what leader did.
And in Dubai.
And he sent a lot of them to them. And they took it, and they were okay. Even some whites actually took it. But they will not say it openly. They will not say it openly, because in terms of in terms of these guys who produce drugs, how do you call it? You see, the pharmaceutics. It is a whole mafia. For those who know it, they know it's something that if you put your hand there, they are going to cut your hand. So it's something that you don't
remember the case of that malaria researcher in Congo.
But it is something terrible. You don't come just like that. So even those who are governing us, at least at that level, they would have given some incentive to those who are trying in one way or the other to treat people. And I'm saying that Cleader case has been 100% success. Those who have, because he said, come on time. If you are convinced of having COVID, come on time and you'll be safe.
And it would have given more credibility even. And people would have believed more in the fact that there is actually an advent of coronavirus.
For sure.
Because now in their mind is that everything is coming from abroad. That's why it is difficult for people to believe that there is coronavirus.
Just like God.
Some believe and some do not.
So we have some few more minutes.
Especially with the comments that some people are making about black people. Like let's just put Donald Trump aside. Other people are saying they should first of all test the virus in Africa. If they die, we'll know that the vaccine is gonna kill us. But if they don't die, we know it's okay for us.
Africans are becoming test tube.
Exactly. That's why when people hear that.
I recommend that the testing be done by our parliamentarians, because they are representatives for the people. If they die, that means that the vaccine are not good. If they don't die, then they are good. They can spread to the others.
So what do you think that we should do at this point in time? If you have an advice for the government, what would that be as we move close out of this program?
Well, like the vaccine that they've ordered, or I don't know if it's free or it's paid for. It's free. I think that it should be voluntary, just like the Minister of Health said, that it's voluntary. You shouldn't force someone's child to take it if the person doesn't want to. Okay, I saw a video going online. It says it was a woman or a teacher forcing a woman to take her child home because she didn't want her child to take the vaccine.
The polio vaccine. That was polio.
That was polio vaccine. Yeah, she was forcing her child to go home. I think that was bad. Like, why my child doesn't want to take the vaccine? I have measures that I can take care of my child to make sure she doesn't get the poliomyelitis. So why must she take the vaccine? A lot of people say that the government machinery is so tactical, even though they tell you that it's for free. But they have another means that they can still administer the vaccine to you. For example, today when you go to the hospital, whether you like it or not, you do the HIV test. Really? Without you knowing. Once you consult,
No. There is a pre-counseling before an HIV test is done. So you're asked, except you come voluntarily. They don't test you without your knowledge.
Well,
and
when
you're giving blood, you know that you're going to be tested absolutely of all diseases.
Yeah.
Yes, but if you go somewhere and then you're tested for HIV without your consent, you should sue that person. True. You have that possibility to do that.
So if I go now to the hospital and I've been administered the vaccine for the coronavirus
without your consent, you should sue the person.
On that,
do you have faith in our justice?
It said it is voluntary. It is not obligatory.
Yeah,
that's what the minister said. So I decide to be vaccinated.
Only words.
You're waiting that it should be written.
Yes, Bertrand.
Yes, I would say that, wash your hands, wear your mask. Because very soon when you get in a taxi and you have your mask, people start laughing at you.
It's true.
They instead laugh at you. Instead of saying that, but instead of being conscious a bit, that let me get home and get my own mask. But they'll instead laugh at you. So I'll tell you that, see, excuse me, let me say in French. C'est vous qui ne voulez pas que le corona va finir. Because according to them, when you take your mask and keep in the house, you at least you show that
it's true. That's the comment.
So put on you clean your hands, put on a mask, and it is rather unfortunate when you go to the ministries. On this weekend, within this week I was in the ministries, and you see people are just entering in ministries. What is the example? But I'm just telling people that good. I'm just telling people that they should put on their mask, to wash their hands. You see, and so we are going to kick out the virus even without the help of those who are in power.
Yes. Even though recently people are wearing masks not due to corona but due to the dust, because
that's
some
true.
People say the dust is a contributing factor.
Yeah.
Because when you catch the dust, obviously you might have cough.
You begin to
sneeze, and you
can
be a
have
potential
fever and you have encephalitis.
So we should be thankful to the dust, right?
No, so
yes.
For letting us
anyway, that's just it. Even if the others are not doing it around you, you should do it. Yeah. Just protect yourself, protect your family. Don't care about the others because you don't know who that person is. So just take care of yourself and your family. That's just it.
Mr. Just the last word. Please, I hope, Mr. Abel, I hope you'll be with us next week.
At the next meeting. Obviously, we are going to be there.
We want people to come and cover our meeting.
We are going to be there.
I'll be happy to welcome you.
We are going to be there.
Okay.
Right, we will surely go for where the information is.
I think we have to implement the measures called for by the WHO. And the government has to do massive
Let me take this caller online. Hello? Yes, good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening. I'm me coming back.
Okay, sir.
Yes, I just want to make a remark or throw it to your floor there.
Yes, sir.
I don't know whether I misunderstood or what. The Minister of Secondary Education, Professor Nalova Young, that sent a communique saying that in the days ahead, if the student or the teacher, any administrator doesn't have any this thing, just showing that he has done COVID and it's negative, he's not entering the class. Meaning that it is obligatory. But at the same time, the almighty head of government, he said that it is not obligatory. So who should we consider as being, whose statement should we consider? I don't know whether you people are aware of that.
No,
thank you.
All right. Thank you,
Maybe
sir.
will answer you.
Well, the Minister of Secondary Education was talking about the COVID testing. So you should present a paper which shows that you're negative Whereas the other one we're talking about was a vaccine, which is not obligatory. So they are two different things. So we are talking about the test and the vaccine.
They call it mass testing.
Yeah.
And the vaccine. Yes, you wanted to say something? Okay, joining me is Jacques-Marie Anama. Good afternoon to you, Jacques-Marie.
Good afternoon, ABEL BELA SAMARI.
Le pays est debout.
To your guests, good afternoon to our listeners, and happy Women's Day.
Thank you.
Le pays est debout.
Oui, le pays est debout. C'est vrai que j'ai un cadeau là pour vous.
Ouais.
C'est la une d'un journal, Info Matin, qui a titré cette semaine Nozo, le rapport de la honte de Human Rights Watch. C'est un cadeau pour vous dire que, à côté de ce journal, d'autres ont parlé d'un torchon. Alors qu'on se souvient que il y a quelque temps, le gouvernement camerounais, à travers la présidente de la République, avait reconnu que les organisations non gouvernementales disent parfois la vérité sur le cas d'Ngarbou. Aujourd'hui, c'est bien beau que les journaux titrent que c'est un rapport de la honte. Est-ce qu'on va jeter le rapport de Human Rights Watch à la poubelle? Est-ce qu'on peut comprendre le combat parlementaire entre les États-Unis et le Cameroun en ce moment? Donc cet après-midi, on reparle de la crise anglophone parce que nous avons le devoir de sauver le Cameroun de cette situation. Et au menu également de ce débat de cet après-midi, on parlera aussi de la vie des partis politiques. Est-ce qu'il y a urgence de revoir le renouvellement des cadres de ces formations politiques-là et surtout des dirigeants? Vous savez qu'il y a des gens qui sont à la tête de leurs partis politiques depuis leur création. Ils ne veulent pas la transition générationnelle. Même ceux qui en parlent ne veulent pas cette transition générationnelle.
Listeners, don't move a muzzle because up next is Barometric Politics with Jacques-Marie Anaba. Stay blessed and happy weekend to you all.